harder. So many people do be cool and look smarter. Don't hold back. And you shouldn't even care about those noses in the air and the crooked stairs. Don't hold back. Cause there's a party over here, so you might as well be here with the people care. Don't hold back. The world, you're holding back. The time has come to. The world, you're holding back. The time has come to. World, you're holding back. The time has come to. Galvanize. Come on, come on, come on.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Togga Casuals TV with tonight, which is the weekly review for week number 24. We have got an action-packed show for you this evening where we're seeing record breakers, records just being smashed to smithereens. We've got two ties that were decided on the last kick of the last game of the whole weekend. We're just throwing everything at you. We're getting feedback from all the winning managers straight the minute after they're coming off after the final whistle. So we're getting in-depth analysis from the Chiefs at the very top. So without further ado, no offence, Rag, we're going to go straight in with tie number one, which saw Atletico Unpicked beat the Scranton Stranglers. Now, it was a fairly mixed tie. Everyone expected this to be a bore draw, you know, bottom of the league, dross, second bottom, playing bottom. There was actually a record broken in this game with lowest ever attendance. There was only 3 people turned up to this tie. But in fairness, those 3 people got a bit of magic because the game went all the way to the last kick of the game, as I said, and it was Virgil van Dijk who nearly got an assist in the final minute, which would have won it for Gabe's Scranton Stranglers, but because Firmino didn't stick it away, it gave Captain Crack Tin all 3 points, 114.25 to 110.5. I mean, Van Dijk was still a standout performer with 17 points. He had some good performers in there, Chris Smalling, Mustafi, average, but Tin edged it with a fairly solid performance. His midfielders, Iwobi and De Bruyne, 21 points each. Martial, 18.5. Plenty of double figures in there for Tin. And he just saw it through. So Tin's real good start of 2018 carried on, swept Gabe aside, and unfortunately, I think Gabe's going to be the new Skyfall because the players he's got, I mean, his 3 key players were Eriksen, Sanchez, and Salah. Eriksen's not performing anymore. Salah, he didn't cash in when he should have done. He could have got a good trade, a real top quality player. Now Salah's going downhill. He's really putting all his eggs in one basket, which is Sanchez. He's got to hope he gets off to a cracking start off at Man United, but time will tell. I think Gabe will be looking over his shoulder to Tin, who's just beaten him, and thinking, you know, Tin's going in one direction, Gabe's going in the other, so we'll see how that pans out. Tie number 2 was where we saw all the records broken this week. The Bukkake Jackies turned in 207.75. That's 207.75. The first time ever in Togga history that the 200-point barrier has been broken. I mean, we've been playing nearly 2 years now and no one's got close until the Bukkake Jackies have just flown out of nowhere. And unfortunately, Colo Colo FC was on the receiving end. And, you know, by all accounts, Colo Colo didn't do too much of a bad game. You know, he still turned in 125.5 points. But it just wasn't good enough with the Bukkake Jackies, unfortunately. Just stormed, you know. There were so many good performers for the Bukkake Jackies this week. We had Koscielny, Jones and Victor Moses, all 3 of the defenders getting over 20 points. Moses getting 30 points in there. You know, so we're looking at that. We're talking, you know, there's 40, 70, there's the best part of 80 points just from Bukkake Jackies defence alone. There was also cracking performances from Willian, he's getting 30 plus. Aguero 40 plus, you know, there was no touch on the Bukkake Jackies this week. And as I said, Colo's performance wasn't too bad. He was just up against a raging lion, unfortunately. Which brings us on to tie number 3, which was STP United versus Chudley Cannons 2. And again, this tie was mouth-watering because it went to the last kick of the game on the last game of the game week. And funny enough, it was the same kick that could have swung it for Gabe, which could have swung it for Sleeve the Perv. So as Virgil van Dijk crossed it in for Firmino, Firmino's Sleeve's player, and if that had not hit the post and went in, Sleeve would have subsequently beat Tupac's Chudley Cannons too. So it was all to play for, and again there was some standout performances. It was a fairly high quality week in terms of performances. Davies, you know, he's getting 17, Shaqiri 20, Hazard 37, real good strong performances from the Chudley Cannons. And likewise for Sleeve, he got 38.5 points on one player who actually only played 38 minutes of a game. Monreal, just come back from injury, 2 assists, a goal, bish bash bosh, but unfortunately not enough for Sleeve the Perv. But I think it's about time that we're going into a bit more depth about this last minute of the game, which decided 2 ties, or more importantly didn't decide 2 of the ties. So what we had here is Virgil van Dijk, who's Gabe's player. Here he's the big dude with a big bonnet who's rushing inside the box, and in the back stick you'll see here's Firmino. So what he's going to do is he's going to dink it in. This would have been Gabe's assist. Firmino off the post, and this piece of shit, I don't know who that is, missed from 3 yards out. That's like, even Gabe would have stuck that away. And what I think's key in this, if you look at Firmino's face here, it's a face of despair. And I can only imagine this face is how both Gabe and Sleeve must have been feeling when they thought they'd won both ties respectively and then subsequently lost them. That face says it all. And you know, I think it's a bit of karma for Gabe, because Firmino was, you know, he was a stalwart for Babes last season, and for some reason he didn't put faith in him this season, didn't pick him for the Scranton Stranglers, and, you know, he's got no confidence anymore. So I think it is a bit of karma that Gabe didn't sign him back up, especially when for the likes of one of my boys, Bernardo Silva, ahead of Firmino, and that's the kind of shit that happens, you know. But anyway, that's it, by the by. Sick of having dog shit fingers? We'll say goodbye to dog shit fingers with the all-new dog shit sack from DSF. Simply wrap the sack around your hand and then pick up the dog shit. Look, no dog shit fingers and a clean sack of dog shit. Don't be a minger and have a dog shit finger. Get on track with the dog poop sack.
Do you feel like you are losing all power and all respect in your Togga League due to your poor management style? Do you feel like your missus could dump you and walk out any minute now because of your poor performance and management style? Is your manager deporting you out of the country as soon as possible because of your poor performance and outdated management style? Do you feel like you need to change which football team you support every half a season due to poor performances and poor management styles? Well, if the answer is yes to 1, 2, any of those questions, then you need the Togga Casuals Guide to Togga Winning and Good Crack. Here it is. Isn't it good? It's on special offer and you can get one ordered today. It's full of tips, tactics and top transfer targets. It will lead you on the path to victory without cheating and without worming. Let's take a look for a few examples. Here we go. Page 69, point B. Don't prioritise punctuality over quality. A simple compromise may often be the best solution. There we have it. I think it's time for you to order your guide to Togga. Let's go over the key points again. prioritise quality, punctuality, good crack, no whirling, no cheating. This is the formula for a great Togga season. Get one now.
Sick of having a little shriveler? Well, try the new Colonel's Pants Enhancer. Simply spray 2 little blasts on your pants and see your little tiddler turn into a massive todger. Colonel's Pants Enhancer. Get it now from Cook's Corner, Euston and Presto's Bertley. 2 sprays and you're away.
Sweetheart, look at me! I'm not talking to you! I've got too much stuff to do! Oh my god! You haven't been spaffing all this time? At the sperm clinic? Oh my god! It looks amazing. I can't wait to try it. I can feel it changing. My spaff has been waffed! Yes! Well, I just want to say thank you to Spaff Wafter for the Spaff Wafter 2000 and for such an amazing price. I can't believe I didn't get one before. Now nobody will think I'm spaffing down the sperm bank donor clinic anymore. And hopefully our marriage is saved. Well, although our marriage isn't saved, at least we know he's not out spaffing 24/7. Thanks, Spaff Wafter. Thanks, Spaff Wafter.
Where's my butt? Where's my butt? Where's my butt?
Spaff water.
What we've got now is we're going to go straight live over to all the stadiums and we're going to speak to the winning managers straight after the final whistle. So I'm just seeing who we've got first. I think we've got Tupac. That's right, we've got Tupac there from Chudley Cannons 2. Can you hear me, Tupac? Are you there? Oh, he is. I think we're hearing that he is there. So Tupac, do you think Sleeve was lucky to get to being still in with a chance of winning the tie till the very last game, you know, judging by Sleeve's managerial abilities?
Well, great question, Kyle.
Thanks.
It's good to have you back on Views. It's been quite a while.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a couple of times over the weekend where I thought I had the game won. I
Yeah.
thought Sleeve got quite lucky with Morris's goal in the 94th minute to stay in the games coming out of Saturday 3pms. Also, obviously, Monreal scoring almost 40 points for a player that was on the pitch for 38 minutes.
That was crazy.
So yeah, I do think there was an element of luck in Sleeve's narrow defeat. I think I could have run away with it a lot more than what the final score ended up being. But a win's a win, and we move on to the next game week.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, do you think Sleeve has cry pokey bum wanks over his head-to-head ties with the Chudley Cannons based on the performances, you know, I mean, in terms of previous performances all this season?
Of course, 5 out of 5. Of course I'm going to be delighted. I do think I'm in Sleeve's head now. I mean, how can you not be if you've lost to the same team 5 times in a row?
Yeah.
It's looking really good for the rest of the season. I think that's a minimum of 3 or 4 more wins for my team this season. So yeah, I do think I'm kind of Sleeve's voodoo team, and for whatever reason his team doesn't turn up when they're playing the Chudley Cannons. It's kind of, I remember few years ago they used to say that a lot of teams playing Manchester United were already beat at Old Trafford just because they were playing at Old Trafford. I think Sleeve's team have that same attitude every time they come to the Chudley Cannons Arena. They just don't seem to show up. Long may that continue.
Yeah. I mean, you've been doing fantastic. I mean, how does it feel to be top of the league at this stage of the season?
I mean, being the top of the league at this stage of the season is fantastic. I've been up thereabouts for the last few months. A few narrow defeats along the way. I lost to Tin last week, unfortunate. There were a late Martial assist, otherwise my lead could have been extended. I feel great, top of the league for this season. Yeah, I would say I'm favourite to go on now and clinch the league title.
That's a bold statement to make there, Tupac. I mean, in your opinion, who do you think the sexiest team is in the league?
There's a couple of teams who I'm keeping my eye on. I think the Bukkake Jackies have performed well throughout the season. They've lacked consistency. A couple of silly defeats have cost them a few points. No, obviously they're only 3 points behind there, the closest challenger. But also Atletico unpicked. 3 wins in a row, seem unbeatable in 2018. I think those two teams will be the closest challengers for me this season.
Okay, right. Some like slutty nurses and others like maids. But what do you make of all the sneaky trades?
Trades have been a controversial subject throughout the whole season. Obviously, Chudley Cannons have got a very open trade policy. We're not always looking to gain on every single trade that we make. I do think Chudley Cannons will be involved in a few more high-profile trades before the end of the season.
Alright.
We'll just have to kind of wait and see how that one plays out.
Okay, interesting. I mean, rumours on beige.com are circulating that there's a new members club that might be getting exposed this week. I mean, do you know anything about this? Is there anything that you want to share?
Yeah, it was a fantastic weekend for the Togga lads, wasn't it?
Togga lads, what's this? Togga lads, well, I don't know, we'll see what happens, but thank you very much for that, Tupac. Thanks for giving us your insight on what was another fantastic win.
Great, yeah, thanks very much, Kyle. I look forward to same time next week. Cheers.
Me too. Cheers, Tupac. Thank you very much for that. So that was Tupac from the Chudley Cannons 2 after a convincing win over STP United. So next up we have Tim, the winner of Atletico Unpicked. Hopefully we've got him here. Tim, can you hear me? Tim? Hello? Good evening, Tim. Just before we start, we wanted to clear a few things up. There's a few rumours going on social media tonight about a senior figure at Atletico Unpicked who is apparently Rogered a goose. Can you clear that up?
Yeah, absolutely no comment. No comment.
Right, okay, we'll leave that one there then. Okay, what was your take on the unsavoury incident after your tie tonight when the manager of the Scranton Stranglers apparently spat on an old deer in the crowd after Firmino missed that chance, which obviously would have given Van Dijk the assist? I mean, what do you think of it? What was your take on it?
I didn't see the incident, Kyle. I was abroad for the entire game week, so I haven't seen any of the goals, any of the action. Just had to rely on my lads to do the business, and thankfully they did.
Okay. Many were surprised that you fielded a full-strength team against such poor opposition. I mean, can you explain some of your team selection with us?
Yeah, there was a lot of talk in the media about me resting my big players against Gabe, because I wouldn't need to perform to say 100% of our abilities to beat Gabe, knowing that he is the most dog shit in the league. And I decided, we want to keep the momentum going, and it's probably just as well we did play almost our most fully strength team.
Okay. I mean, you were bottom of the league at Christmas, but you've hit some cracking form in the turn of the year. Do you think you can emulate what the mighty Bukkake Jackies did last season after they were bottom at Christmas? Do you think you can, be inspired from what the Bukkake Jackies done to do something similar?
Yeah, it does look good. 3 match-winning performances this calendar year, when no one else has got anywhere near that sort of form. I'm looking at beating all 5 competitors in a row.
Okay.
Once I get that done, I think I'll be pecking at the towards the top half of the table, and it's looking good for the end of season running.
Okay, right. I mean, we've just been speaking to Tupac there from the Trudley Cannons, and he seems to think that there might be a bit of business happening in the next few weeks, which has got everyone invested. And you two have obviously been in the spotlight for many previous trades in the past. So, I mean, from your point of view, is there anything in the pipeline between the two of yous?
Yeah, we're looking at some big purchases in the next week or two.
Right.
I think there's a lot of managers, mainly around 4th and 5th place, who are going to start panicking now.
Yeah.
And they'll be letting some of the big players go. Just need a bit of persuasion.
Okay, all right. Interesting. You've heard it here first. Tim, you've actually won the award from the Togga Casuals TV tonight. You've won the award for the biggest tiddler between you and your opponent this week. So congratulations. I think you've got your award here.
Really? Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, they should get it
Thank
here.
you. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah. Wow, this is lovely. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Like I said, I mean, I wasn't in the country, so I had no idea what was happening. And for me to pull that victory out of the bag, we're very pleased indeed. Thank you.
No problem, Tim, no problem at all. I do notice that you've got an interesting hairpiece on this evening. I mean, what are you going for? You're going for the STP look tonight? Is that what it is?
Yep. Sleeve is he is an inspiration to me.
An inspiration? What, even on footy?
Apart from when it comes to football, obviously, I don't take any advice from Sleeve.
Okay.
There, he's shown his he's utter shite at this game. We were in the same situation last year, and we managed to finish 3rd, and we'll be hoping for the same this season.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, pal. Thank you. Okay, so that was Tim from Athletico Unpicked. Again, after a fantastic victory there, he's literally storming up. Gabe must be cacking his pants at the minute. But yeah, another fantastic win for Tim. Congratulations. Which leaves us to the final manager, the final winning manager. We should have Kyle from the Bukkake Jackies, Togga Saviour. Oh yeah, Kyle, can you hear us? I'm not sure if we're getting through there. Hello, Kyle, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh,
Are we on air now?
yep, we're on there.
Yep.
Hi, Kyle. You've got the mic there, okay. I mean, how does it feel,
Hello,
first
can
of
you hear
all?
us?
Yeah.
Good afternoon, lads.
Good afternoon. How does it feel to be the first player ever to break the 200-point barrier mark?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to admit, it's been a long time coming. You know, I've put on some blinding performances in the last 12 months. It's only been a matter of time. The lads have been there, they've been putting the effort in training.
Yeah.
I've been able to see it firsthand. And, you know, a couple of the Togga lads, some of the inexperienced lads near the bottom, were starting to give us grief about, you know, lost 2 in a row, I'm plummeting down. So I just thought, lads, go and express yourselves.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Colo was just on the receiving end of a total annihilation. But to break 200 points, as you say, you know, it's nice, but you know, it was just getting the win. That was the main thing, and the Bukkake Jackies did it. They performed, and it was a solid performance. I was proud of the lads that day.
Well, it was a fantastic performance, and as you say, to break that 200-point barrier mark for the first time in nearly 2 years, what an achievement that is, you know. I don't think we'll ever see that again, but, you know, hats off. Fair play.
Sorry, Carl, I'm just going to take my glass off. It's a bit dark in here. Aye, cheers.
No problem, pal. So, all the benefit
yeah.
for us seeing those piercing blue eyes. Looking fantastic there, pal. Fantastic. So, we've got a few reporters from around the world. Obviously, it's generating so much interest that's going on. It's trending all over the world right now about the Bukkake Jackies breaking this 200 barrier mark. So, I mean, first of all, we've got Wolfgang, I think it's Wolfgang from Scheisenkopf TV in Germany. He's the first one to speak to us, so I think we can beam that through to you there, Kyle. Can you hear?
Oh, hi, Wolfgang. Ja. Sehr gut. Ja. Ausflug. gehe immer geradeaus und links 2 Rex und das Kino. Ja, oh ja. 1, 2, ba, oh. Das Kuli, Zhang Hong, Bang Bakak. Und dann Handen von Flang Janga, Flang Honka, und dann Wolfgang.
Okay, well, I hope that explained everything that Wolfgang said there. We've also got Mike Neville from Time T's News here. So, Mike, can you be patched through there, Kyle from Bukaki Jackie?
Hi, it's Mike Newell here from Time T's TV. Kyle, do you think you are ruining the league or making it unfair on your competitors because you're running away with it so much? Look, just because I've been the best manager so far this year, just because I won the most games in 2017, just because I won, Manager of the Year and I got invited to the awards night ceremony in Manchester with Pep Guardiola and Jose Mourinho, just because I've won every bit of silverware there is to be won this year, and just because I've got 100% record in the cup so far this season, doesn't mean to say I'm ruining the league. I'm making it unfair. I mean, if anything, I acquired Kyle Walker and Coutinho earlier in the season. Totally legitimately, I was well within my rights to keep them, but in fairness to the league and to make the league more competitive, I just give them back to STP without any question. We didn't play any games in between. I was giving them back just because I thought, I didn't want to run away with the league even further. Just to give the lads at the bottom of the league, like Sleeve, like Gabe, just a chance, to just give them a helping hand, really. So I think if anything, I've been one of the reasons to make this league fairer. And once I've done that, that's why people, all the media, you lot, started calling us the Togga Saviour. I'm no hero. I don't need those kind of accolades. I just like to get on with my job, and just make it fair for everyone. So I appreciate what you're saying, Mike, but I think if anything, I'm the guy bringing fairness to this league and making it more competitive.
Okay, I hope that answered your question again, Mike. Next, I think we have someone called, is it Clem?
This is Clem Fandango. Can you hear me?
Yes, Clem Fandango, I can hear you.
Okay. So, getting away from breaking all these records, Kyle, how did you actually find that your lads performed this week? And, do you feel that Colo FC too were maybe overwhelmed by your presence, like before you even turned up today?
Yeah, look, again, it was an impressive performance by the lads. Everyone put a shift in, even the shit players like Juan Mata, they put a shift in the day. There was some good standout performers, and I feel sorry for Colo because on another day, Colo scored enough points to be winning the tie, and I think it's unfair to say, he's getting lambasted by the points margin because you're right, it was the biggest points margin we've seen in Togga history in one fixture, but that doesn't mean to say Colo's shit and I'm brilliant. I've been hearing it all season. Oh, Kyle, your team's so good. Why are you steamrolling everyone?
Of course.
You should be in a different league with better competition, but I don't see it that way, honestly. Some of these lads on the day, they can put in a good performance, and if some of my lads have got the shits or something like that, then they can't beat us, and it has happened in a couple of times this season. So, I don't think it's fair to lambast Colo from having this huge points margin this week. And as I said, it is the biggest ever points difference in Togga history in one matchup. But I think that's more credit to my lads. And I hope it doesn't happen again because it's embarrassing for the other lads. I've told my boys from now on just to keep it cool. If we're going 1-2-0 up, just take it easy, pretend it's training because we don't want to embarrass anyone in the league. That's not good for anyone, it's not good for the supporters, and it's not good for you guys in the media,
Yeah, I fully understand. Do you think the league positions of the likes of Gabe and Sleeve reflect the quality of videos that they're currently producing in both the reviews and the previews? Would you say that was a fair comment?
Yeah. look, I don't think it's fair to compare the videos that the likes of Sleeve and Gabe are giving with their league performances. I mean, so be it, they both are in the bottom half of the league, and they both are probably in the bottom half of the league in terms of video quality. But you know, it's different strokes for different folks. I think the likes of Gabe and Sleeve, they like to have a bit of structure to their life, you know. They like to know where everything is at certain times. And punctuality is obviously key to these guys, and you know, I don't want to slate them for that, because as I said, it's different strokes for different folks. The rest of us will want a little bit of razzmatazz in the league, you know, a little bit of entertainment. We don't mind, you know, being a bit lenient when it calls for a higher level of entertainment. So, you know, I think each to their own. Best of luck to Gabe and Sleeve in their future videos and for their league performance, for that matter. But, you know, onwards and upwards, and let's see what the rest of the season's got to offer.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that, Kyle. Very informative on what is a record-breaking week for yourself and the Bukkake Jackies. Thank you very much for taking the time out.
Thanks, lads. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you. So there we'll have it. That's all 3 winning managers this week, giving us instant feedback straight from the final whistle, exclusively for Togga Casuals TV. And that's all we have time for this week. So, you know, it's been such a fascinating week. Let's hope that the standard, that this bar that's been set by all the lads this week, can go on to next week. But from us, that's over and out. Good night. God bless.
Initiative to move, so I make it harder. Don't hold back. If you think about it, so many people